Welcome, this is Alteman reporting live from the HTP for HPC workshop at the ISC in Frankfurt. And we're here with Erwin Laure from the Royal Institute of Technology in Sweden, who is involved in quite a few HPC projects. So, welcome, Erwin.
Thank you very much. As I said, I'm from the Royal Institute of Technology in Stockholm, Sweden, which is the largest engineering school in Sweden. And we have a long history of providing the best HPC services to Swedish academia, which is these days really an essential part for an engineering school and for science. So we are very happy that we are able to provide world-class systems. We have systems that are on the tier 1 level in the European PRACE scheme to our Swedish researchers, but we also need to keep up the pace. There is a lot of talk about exascale, about scaling, new technologies are coming in, low power processors and so forth. So the whole field is at change at the moment. And we need to keep constant efforts up to be able to support our users not only with a good technology basis, but also with the software, with the technologies and the tools that they can use. And hence we are involved a lot in both national and international projects where we try actually to figure out what are future technologies and most importantly, how can they be used by applications. We have national projects where we work with material science, engineering, CFD, molecular dynamics, bioinformatics and so forth. And some of these we're also doing on the European level. I think one of the greatest things that have been established over the past couple of years in Europe is this concept of the centers of excellence. We are leading one in the field of biomolecular research, which is a very important area for the future exascale systems. And so we are working with biomolecular researchers to figure out what is the usage model of the future large-scale machines, how you can scale up the software, what are the programming models, and so forth. So I think that's really a European strength that we have good software, we have both in academia and in industry people that provide excellent software, and now we also start to have the frame in place through centers of excellence that we can really show and further advance European leadership in software.
You can say that Europe is in a transition. We did do a lot in preparatory work and supporting industry with HPC and developing new technologies. And a few months ago, 7 countries said, yeah, well, we should really go for it now. And
so there is now a firm commitment of many European countries, including the European Commission, to really go towards the exascale in the next couple of years. So Europe does not lose ground with respect to the US, to China and to Japan. And this is very, very valuable both for the hardware industry that we have in Europe, but as I said, even more so for the applications. So that's the European strength, is that both is being developed. Like in other countries that have more focus on hardware, but then lose actually the software and the hardware will not be usable as much as it could be. Europe's strength here clearly is that you have from the very beginning this co-design, the hardware is being developed, but the applications are following at the same pace and are actually driving the hardware developments. The workshop now today, right, which talks about extreme scale demonstrators is a very good example here, because here we're talking on how we can build future systems, how we can integrate novel technology, novel building blocks into future systems. And applications, centers of excellence, science is the underpinning ground for all these discussions, and I think it's going in the very right direction, and Europe is making a good example on how things should be set up in this field.
ETP for HPC, it's a typical, you could say, European endeavor, because it's about collaboration, but also in some way, in the end, there will also be some kind of competition. So can you tell a little bit about your vision about ETP for HPC?
KTH and us, we joined the ETP very early on because we think this is actually an excellent arena where we can set European priorities. The strategic research agenda that the ETP is pushing out is really influential on how different European initiatives are being framed, what their context is, and where the priorities of funding should be. So by being part of the ETP, we can actually influence the Commission, we can influence the European funding arena to really focus on what we believe is the right thing. So the ETP for us is, in this sense, really a crucial thing, and is a very good thing where really all of Europe really comes together and tries to agree on joint priorities, which is very important.
Yeah, but in the end, I think it's good to say, but in the end, if you apply for European projects,
then you are in
there
is still a competition, of course, right? But the ETP helps that you agree on what should be the priorities, right? Exactly. How you then implement those priorities, that's a different thing, and that's then in a competitive setting, of course.
So it's a very nice setting.
Okay.
Thank you very much for this.
Thank you very much indeed.
For Primeur Magazine, this was Atem reporting.